Good.
Wish this light is okay?
Yeah.
We're recording. By the way, what's with you and you're scary?
No, our scaries are funny because
That Gemma, one time he gets to feel like a boss.
Eh.
He comes, so literally we're waiting at the gate.
Eh.
He comes slowly, he walks, anatuangalia. Mtaka nini? and then he's looking at the car. Then he looks inside. I can't see that person sitting behind.
I think it's because Wakorada, you know, this is close to Kibicha.
Yes.
So I think guys are like, oof, it's very tricky. Because the protests were like hot here, just across.
Were you guys affected in any way?
This neighborhood, no, but you know, in general,
yeah,
what you'll find is that yesterday was basically a breakdown of society.
So maybe just to preface this, we've already done a podcast. If you guys haven't checked that out, we'll link it in the description. Jana ulikuwa wapi? So the plan for this is, bro.
Yeah.
We're going to recap 25th June. What happened?
Yeah.
Give me all the ins and outs, in and outs, why we were on the streets, what happened.
I think it's not just even about why we were on the streets. We can talk about 25th June's because this last year.
Yeah, because you know
it's a continuum.
It's a continuum. So maybe to recap, for the audience that doesn't know, let's talk about 25th June. What happened?
So I mean, you mean the first 25th June, or just let's just talk about 25th June, because I feel like everything that's been happening in Kenya has been a reaction to a form of 25th June since 2024, right? So in 2024, people went to the streets, people ended up storming parliament, and then this entirely new chapter of Kenyan politics begins. 2025, people go back to the streets and we come full circle, right? We come full circle and we are back on, or rather, not all of us, but multiple people are back on the streets. And this is where we find ourselves at this point in time.
Yes.
Now, coming down this road, you might, okay, good, now you can move.
Yeah, because I'm planning on moving and then just going all the way through.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I need to fuel up as well. There's a petrol station somewhere. This connects directly to Kara.
Yeah, exactly. So we just move past here, but kwa wananga shida.
I think we'll be okay.
There's no other way you can usually cover this camera. You like make it look like
we were planning on putting Kim on the boat. Just in case something happens. But we'll be okay. This road is constantly moving, so it's
that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But you can be surprised at the things. You know, this society has become desperate. One thing I learned yesterday. You know the big difference between the protests that happened in last year and this year?
Yes.
This year was a very dark tone. 1. And then 2, yesterday was complete breakdown of society. There was not just like protests in the CBD. Guys are protesting here on this road. Guys are protesting Huko Adams. Guys are protesting in Rongai.
It was all over, right?
All over Dagoretti, man. So my aunt, and I'll send you like the pictures, yeah? My aunt has this very nice restaurant up at Dagoretti, yeah? Do you know, Jana, they stoned the shit out of her restaurant.
Really?
Yeah, it was complete anarchy.
Was she okay?
Proper. No, she was not. So she was with her grandchildren in the restaurant. Those guys basically had to hide under the tables. They thought she was like, and this is how I know how old my aunt is my wife's aunt.
Yeah.
She was like, it was like we were in Kosovo.
So her store is completely ruined.
Her store is completely fucked, man. Completely. It's even crazy. And that's like what I'm saying. It was complete breakdown of society. Like the amount of looting that happened, Jana, from both infiltrators and actually what I would guess are normal people. It's crazy.
Okay, so let's just step it back a bit, all right? So last year we had this huge turnout, Gen Z, Mandamano.
100,000 people.
100,000 people. Anti-government, anti-establishment, were pissed off. Do you feel after whatever was done, there was a genuine change in the system?
No.
Even though Ruto let go of his cabinet. Like that change, you didn't think was reflected even in a small faction that it put people on edge last year?
So I usually tell people, just go to the streets and listen to people and in terms of why they are protesting, yeah? So you want to talk to someone and then you ask them, so when you hear what people are complaining about, people are not complaining for the cabinet. People are not going to the streets because they wanted the cabinet changed. They're going to the streets because they're like, do I have a job? Right? No. And I usually say jobs are a very personal thing, right? Because a job is what will allow me to take my girlfriend out for dinner, right? Not even for dinner, nimnunulia smoky. You get? Has the impunity from our politicians stopped? Have you stopped overtaxing us because your government keeps stealing? No. Right? What else is there? Your payslip, have they stopped raiding it for additional taxes? Nope.
Bro, speaking of taxes, today I just got my salo.
Yeah.
I had to take, like, a double take.
Yeah.
Like, what
exactly
what is going on here?
Yeah.
I was so pissed off. In fact, Eric of Every Other Time with Eric.
I
just started messaging F this and F that and F this. My mood was just so off.
Yeah, because you're like, dude, for all this stuff that I'm paying, what am I getting? I still do private school. I still do private hospitals. I still use private means to drive around.
Yeah.
You get, there's nothing you're getting. So you look at it that way. Okay, fine. Has the prices of things gone down?
Well, we were actually having this discussion with Kibe. He says things have gone cheaper. And with sugar and basic commodities. And I don't, my take on this is, you've ever heard the old political move where, let's say fuel is 10 shillings. The government will increase it to 20 shillings. Everyone will complain. Then a new guy will come and reduce it by 5 shillings. Oh, don't worry, 15. And everyone will be happy saying, we've got lower fuel rates. But you're still paying a lot more than the 10 shillings. And that's what's been happening with all commodities. It went ridiculously high. And then they just curbed it a little and everyone was like, oh, we're doing well. Yeah. I disagree with Kibe on commodities. And we were having a joke about it, even though, like, basic sugar and stuff, it means a lot to majority of the population. Some of us really don't look at it. But even if you go to the regular products, like your Weetabix protein, even that one, that thing, it's doubled in price, bro.
And the thing is, you keep assuming that ati vitu zimeshuka. Actually, sometimes it's just shrinkflation. So you might be assuming that the price of things has gone down or stayed the same. But that slice of cake keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, but it's the same price. But usually, the thing I know, I want to radicalize you a bit.
Yes.
What's the price of bread?
65 bob?
No, I will not answer that question because usually that's the one.
No.
If guys want, if usually that's a key question, like at every presidential debate.
What's the price of bread?
Yeah, no, don't ask me. I'm not running for president.
So why are you putting me on the spot?
I mean, 70. Are you sure? Gani?
You see, so I'm correct.
Are you sure? Okay.
Wewe ungesema so moja,
but it depends on the quality of bread you buy.
8 grain, whole wheat, double oatmeal bread.
Now let me ask you, how do you do this coffee pump? The late night coffee run?
Yes.
With the kind of bumps, these stupid rumble strips that are here.
So that's a suction. Basically vision.
Oh, okay. So it like you have to be clever about it.
It's properly inside, but we also have to be incredibly careful when driving, especially in tourist areas.
I mean, it's such an interesting exercise in itself, huh? I must say.
Yeah.
That you guys have to really but doesn't that just tell you about the state of the country?
We get worried quite significantly.
That you're worried that because you're driving with a camera on your bonnet. But I wonder in which city in the world that would be easy to do.
So we were back to talking about the price of bread. So commodities in general have gone up. Obviously, the state is in perception of frustration.
Yes.
Overall, everyone is very upset. And
I like what you said, perception of frustration. But continue.
And the reality is that the folks at the top, the president's vocabulary is, things are getting better. We must make hard decisions in order to go through it. But what I know, my sort of what's the pH meter?
Whoops.
Bootleg, sorry.
There we go. Gotcha.
Yeah, there we go. I think, are we good?
Face it down.
Down.
Face
That
it
way?
down.
This way?
Yeah.
Towards me. This way? More and more? That's fine?
Let me help.
Whoops. Okay.
Let me help.
Okay. Cool. This is part of the podcast, guys.
Yes,
This is part of the process. It's part of the process. There we go. Oh,
Come on.
really? Okay, wait.
There.
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 That's perfect?
Are we
Yes.
good?
Yeah. Awesome.
Actually, wait. We'll do it properly.
Is
when we
it
reach
dark
over
still?
Maybe just on your side.
there.
There. Mimi pia nataka kuonekana. Wase. Si ati nikue kwa giza. Eh?
I think we're okay there.
We're good now, eh?
We're good there.
Yeah, because of, again, this whole rumble strip thing, it's like the worst
Yes.
kind of.
We'll go very slowly. We put on the hazard light. Anyway,
Yeah.
so my pH gauge for politics is usually Uber drivers,
Okay, I like that.
because
I like that.
over the years,
Yeah.
what has happened is
Uh-huh.
you can always talk politics with them, and they'll always give their
I
input.
think I'll press something. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
There. Is that it? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, by the way, is this the right light?
That one.
That one. Yeah.
There we go.
So the pH gauge for political tension and the way people are thinking is always the Uber drivers
Yeah.
and what they feel on the ground is happening, because obviously they ride with a lot of folk.
And they
So
see a lot of
They
the
see
city.
a lot of the city, so they understand what's going on, and they deal with different levels of class financially. And it's been a negative constant, the conversations.
Did you see the news guy, the TikTok news guy?
Yes.
Alifanywa pande nini? Uber chap chap. Did they put him in an Uber chap chap like this one? I was like, dude, eh? Did that taxi driver actually know?
Chill.
Whoops.
Yeah, chill. No, don't worry. We'll sort it out. I think let's just put it over here for now.
Yeah, okay. Did the taxi driver actually know who he was carrying? Maybe point it upwards.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine.
Did the taxi driver actually know who he was carrying?
Well, when I was speaking to him.
No, like
Oh, that
yeah, don't worry, I'll hold it for you.
Yeah.
When he was carrying the guy in the Uber chap chap, I was like, dude, this the world's biggest news TikToker, and nobody knows or gives a damn. But here's what I would say about the Uber drivers. I like that. That's a very interesting way of what I call measuring political temperature. My favorite one is funerals.
Funerals.
Yeah. If you want to measure the political temperature of this country,
Yeah.
just go to funerals over the weekend where MPs are coming to speak and all that kind of stuff. You'll
Yeah.
get a very good sense of how angry or how happy people are with things. Yeah, so I don't blame, like, I don't think it's a bad one. I think Uber drivers, that's why Njoro Uber is such a good show, because Uber drivers get a flavor of the city that nobody else can.
Correct.
So me, for example, one of the best advice I've gotten about Andudi is from an Uber driver, because he was like, if you drive around as an Uber driver for a whole day or a whole week in Nairobi, you will see the craziest and most fucked up accidents involving Dudis.
It's so
And
crazy.
you will never bother if you're an Uber driver.
That's my cousin too. He was working at Kenyatta, and I was learning to ride a bike at the time. He called me. He's like, dude, just stop, please. He's like, the shit you will see over here. It's not about how safe you ride. The problem is it's the other folks, right? And they and their capacity to be safe on the road, and you can't really trust them. Oh, what's happened here?
God damn it. This guy just drove right into... Wow, you can't park there. You can't park there. Ulevi.
We literally had a guy who's just in gear. If we had the 360 camera night vision, we'd have shown you.
Oh,
Even
man,
shown you.
yeah.
But so
Uh,
yeah, I mean, so okay, overall we can agree that everyone is pretty much upset, right? There's a general consensus of frustration.
yes, there is a general...
So-
in fact, for me, it's almost impossible to imagine who is not frustrated. I'm trying to understand who is not frustrated.
Right.
Yeah, but apparently, yeah, it looks like there's a large majority of people that are frustrated.
Okay, so last year, June 25th happens.
Protests in 30-something counties. This year, protests in 25 counties. Yeah, so I mean, mass protests across the basically across half the country.
Right.
Yeah.
And now tell me, leading up to that, what was the plan? Because you were heavily involved. You were with all these guys. You had your ear on the ground.
Yeah. Let's say ear on the ground. That's a much better way of describing it.
Yes.
Because people have been described as... You've seen Murkomen has come out today saying that people were attempting a coup.
What unfolded yesterday was not a protest. It was terrorism disguised as dissent. There was no peaceful demonstration. It was riots, chaos, and anarchy. Let me therefore state unequivocally that we condemn the criminal anarchists who, in the name of peaceful demonstrations, unleashed a wave of violence, looting, sexual assault, and destruction upon our people.
I don't know where these cool languages come from, man.
But what was the aim of the protest? Let's say that. I mean, obviously to air your frustration.
Yeah.
What was the end goal? And let's start with Sunday, because you invited me to.
Yes, the All Saints Interdenominational service.
Yes.
For the fallen heroes of June 25th.
Yes.
Yeah. That was one of the most powerful things I have ever gone for in my life.
Tell me more about.
Let me not lie to you, dude. You know, in history, people always talk about the harshest and the worst parts of history, yeah?
Yeah.
This time, for the first time, what I think we forget to tell the story of is how a nation heals. Yeah? And so we went for that service. And let me tell you, that shit was angelic, man. I'll show you a video. I'll send you a video, you see. There's a point where, like, the preacher, the priest is, like, in the nini. He's on the dais, and then, like, the light just shines on him. And then he's, like, wearing white.
Really? Yeah. Huh?
Sajid would have thought,
Yes.
when we were in class 5,
We'd be here
we'd be here.
having. It's recording with.
In Prado's.
Who'd have thought? Yes, we'd be here.
In Prado's
late night run for coffee. Like,
eating gummy bears.
to be fair, your coffee is stronger than mine. We should call your coffee Captain Coffee.
We know. Check his stories to know why.
Yes. Perfect. I think we're good to go. Sasa.
So what's your car music? What's your car music?
So it depends.
What makes you feel like you're in a music video?
Mostly, I listen to 80s and 90s rock.
Vice City.
Sorry?
That's the Vice City effect.
Exactly. Whatever Vice City's sound track was, that's my background music. Then it depends if I'm in for.
So you drive around Nairobi thinking you're Tommy Versetti.
Aren't I? Aren't I already living that life? No, but to be honest, then sometimes synthwave. I've got Kim hooked on synthwave. You know the movie Drive, the one for Ryan Gosling.
No, actually.
If you haven't watched that movie, guys, I highly recommend.
You know, you know the latest Ryan Gosling movie I've watched.
Which one?
Him as Barack Obama in his biopic. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, apparently there's a rumor going on. Siju is going to play.
Will Smith.
No. He's going to play Black Panther.
Ryan Gosling as Black Panther.
Actually, let me take it this way. This is the Karen side, right?
You don't want to go expressway?
So we'll go expressway, but through that side, yeah.
Okay.
I'll show you. Odanga to south.
Oh, you want to enter up and Dani.
Up on Dani.
Bogani.
Yeah. So I heard. So this is a joke going around that Ryan Gosling is playing T'Challa from Black Panther.
Man, I would not be surprised at the rate America is going. The white people are taking everything back. They're like, we gave you enough. Now we're taking it all back.
So let me get your opinion, because you're a de facto black man.
It's a de facto. so black man.
The epitome of black man.
And you're an honorary black man.
Exactly. By association. Through privilege of staying close to black people, I identify as black. There's a rumor that they're going to give an African American the James Bond role. What's your take on that?
Me, I would be against that.
Like, why are they doing this? Why are they not making impactful roles for certain cultures rather than just having to abide by this whole lunacy of?
I have no idea, but me, I'm just like, I don't think I'm woke enough yet for a black James Bond. Like, my response is so shallow.
Really? Yeah?
I'm just like, I don't know how to react. You know, he's been like he's like, you know, if there's a lot of theories. Huh?
You guys, there's some jokes over here for black James Bond.
I'm sorry, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for a black James Bond. I'm like, no, you. Even that one, I'll be like, as a black man, I'll be like, no, y'all have gone too far.
Yo, give me $20.
Yeah, I'm like, what do I expect? I don't even know. Do you know there was a time they wanted Diddy to be James Bond?
Bro. But you see, the thing
So
is,
what would like his secret weapons be? Baby oil?
so imagine a Muslim James Bond.
Oh my!
During
God.
mission, his phone goes off.
Ah! They would never let him on a plane.
Yo. Yeah, exactly. James Bond bin Laden.
Oh. But you know, I once watched. This is so stupid. I once watched a Tanzanian dub of James Bond.
Really?
Yeah, a Kiswahili dub.
Was
Tanzanian.
Was it full of kumamako?
Oh no! Let me tell you. You see that part where he usually introduces himself.
Yes.
The name is
The
Bond.
name is Bond.
Yes.
James Bond.
James Bond.
I swear, we figure that point in the movie because we were watching it somewhere up in Woodley. We figure that we reached that point in the movie. Do you know what the guy says?
What?
Jina langu ni Bond. Juma Bond.
I
swear, you guys.
we have to find that.
I swear, you guys. I lose my mind.
Kim, you have to find that. If there's a Kiswahili dub of James Bond, just search YouTube.
Jina langu ni Bond. Juma Bond.
Juma
I
Bond.
swear, we died. Just like.
But that's where the world is sort of heading. It's this whole precedent set by feminism, right? It is the push to get everything equal, and add on top of that this whole cultural mix of getting everything equal.
Mm-hmm.
And in some aspects, I understand when it comes to earning power and so on and so forth. But it's like that push to make James Bond female, right?
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't mind that. I don't think it would be bad. I'd rather a white woman type thing. Yeah, for sure. But if James Bond was a black woman, I'd be like, what?
No, you want James Bond to be a woman?
I wouldn't mind James Bond being a woman. I don't think it would be a bad
But
thing.
why don't they
I would have a problem with him being a black man. I'm just like, why are you?
Okay, but why wouldn't they just make a more powerful role for women in the Bond sphere? Why do they have to replace the idea that the author had for that specific role?
I think creatively it's not a bad idea.
No, you see, the thing is, you're the gaming industry that fucking killed Joel in The Last of Us because they wanted a lesbian to go and lead the story.
I swear, is it Last of Us 2 she became a lesbian?
Bro, she's
in the movie or the show? Because the show
in both universes she's a lesbian.
Oh my god!
And then in the cinematic universe, there's a scene where in the game she finds out that the girl she's with is pregnant and she's upset because it can't help her avenge her mission.
Oh,
but in the series,
y'all are gonna get me so cancelled.
In the series, maybe Kim can put it up here. The actress says, "I'm gonna be a dad."
So we're all having a baby. Holy shit. I'm gonna be a dad. Yeah.
The woman actress who identifies as
whatever she is now.
Yes.
Yeah, because nowadays I can't even keep up.
She basically says, "I'm gonna be a dad."
Wow.
And I think the viewership dropped by 50%.
Are you serious? Yeah, because America are not fucking with that shit anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
They're so done.
Exactly.
Which is interesting.
But now I want to bring things back here. tell me,
Mm-hmm.
we talked about, and I love the way the conversation is going everywhere.
But that's me, I'm a scatterbrain.
Yeah.
Are you a scatterbrain?
Yes, yes.
Very serious scatterbrain, by the way.
It goes all over the place.
All over the place. Uh-huh.
But we were talking about the lead up to this year's Mandamano, right?
Mm.
Tell me how you thought it would end up, how it went.
Mm.
Did it live up to your expectations?
So this year's Mandamano, this call is interesting, but I can't pick. Let me just tell her. I can't pick. Niko kwa podcast. Nikupigie saa ngapi? Anytime, sawa. So, let's come back to look at what happened last year.
Yeah.
Last year's protests, I think, particularly the finance bill protests, I think, now I'm going to say things that I think might get me in a bit of trouble, but I think last year's protest had a better political goal and outcome than this year's protest. Because people were fighting against something that was very clear and very concrete, which was a bill. They wanted that bill to be, they wanted that bill to be.
Sorry, just to pause.
Yeah.
But that's the new data center.
Dude, man,
Vish,
I always get so amazed at what you're doing. I'm just like, damn.
Anyway, so
Damn.
sorry to cut you.
But no, that was a necessary commercial break.
Yeah.
That was a necessary commercial break.
Yeah, watching will be confused.
Kabisa. We have to confuse them. Nowadays when I'm on a phone call, usually when I finish, especially if it's with someone sensitive, and I'm like, this call has been recorded for quality purposes only.
Just to make sure no one is listening.
To remind them when they're listening that hatuna ubaya.
Bro, to be honest, I've stopped making calls on Safaricom.
Like you see a Prado like this one.
Yeah.
Ni nini iko juu ya hiyo kitu? What is that? Nowadays I'm so paranoid. What everything?
It's a society and the times we live in. Always be safe. Use Safaricom. You don't use Safaricom because they can track your phone.
I did say that. But what I'll say is this: like nowadays, that paranoia is so crazy.
It's become a lot more, especially since this whole aspect of going against the government, where people are being tracked to their houses, where they are, the propaganda proprietors,
exactly.
They're all being found.
Yep.
And it's through the use of social media, through the use of intelligence. We're not living in, come on, I mean, you have to wake up. We have a very capable government, we have a very capable law enforcement agency, and on their part, they're just trying to curb and keep peace.
It's called, no, they're not.
And maybe, and the other stuff. And the other
They're
stuff.
not, and there's no peace they're trying to keep. These people are basically trying to settle political scores. But you see, when you talked about, you asked me something very important. You asked me what has changed since last year. Right?
Yes.
You asked me what has changed since last year. You even just mentioned it in the conversation that we had. Why is everybody so paranoid now? Before June 25th, you were not this paranoid. This government categorically in their inauguration speech were like, you will no longer have to talk on WhatsApp. Yeah. In the inauguration speech, Rigathi went and said, you will no longer have to have conversations on WhatsApp and Telegram. You are free. This guy campaigned on the motto, freedom is coming. Sajid, have I ever called you on an online?
We always use... We don't use the lines.
Yeah, you can't even call someone on your normal line anyway. And it's like a matter of survival.
Okay. So leading up to this, the anniversary of June 25th, the planning behind it, I had actually seen something quite sinister where there was it was an image and the background was blue and it was the plan for the day. And Kim, I'll send that to you. You can put it up here. And at the end, it actually said Hang Ruto.
Yes.
Was that legit or was that spam?
So it was. So now I do. Thank you for pointing that out because I think I need to do some digging around it. Yeah. Because I'm also struggling with what has transpired, especially given Murkomen's statements today. So you see, in the lead up to today's protest, yesterday's protests, there was this very deliberate attempt to paint it as unnecessary anarchy. You get?
Yeah.
That this is Gunzi, these people are here to destroy property, and they're being promoted by a bunch of commercial activists.
Correct.
You get? And So what we would find is that there was multiple like fake posters that would go around, right?
Yeah.
In the lead up to the protests that were basically aimed at trying to dissuade members of the public or like basically convince them that there was parallel forces.
Yes.
That were doing other aspects of a protest, right? Now, the thing about that blue poster is the person who supposedly created it and the first person to post it on X, I think has gone missing. I don't know. We'll have to fact check and find out if he's back.
Really?
Yes, he was arrested a day later. He was arrested a day later with 10 DCI officers in his house.
Dang.
Yes. I think that was the last thing that I saw, right? Now, I have not followed up because, of course, the events of the past 2 days have been really crazy. Yeah. Yesterday town was a war zone. So I'm still recovering.
So before
I'm still recovering from all of what happened yesterday. So I've not found out about him, basically.
So before we get to Wednesday now, let's talk about Sunday. What happened on Sunday?
So Sunday there's this. So Sunday to me, there was an interdenominational service at All Saints. Yeah.
All Saints Cathedral.
Yeah. Now me, I'm not a church guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a church guy. In fact, and I'm not even this new wave of I'm spiritual but not religious and all that. I don't do that stuff, right? I'm just not into that stuff. But let me tell you, for the first time in my life, and anybody who's listening to this, please go and watch the All Saints interdenominational service.
Could you send us the video? We can put it up.
Yeah. Because watch the full 2 hours. Because I've never been that engaged in church in my life. I am not lying to you. That thing is like a movie. It's like the way it started off, and you see even the video I showed you, right? Like it just the aura that was there.
It was next level.
Was next level, because basically you see, like what I was telling you earlier, is in history we tend to only focus on the bad inflection points that have happened in a country.
Yes.
You get, but we never really talk about the attempts that a nation takes to heal. You get? And this country has never really told the story of how it has tried to heal. So for me, being present in that moment was something else, because people really came just to commemorate those who had been killed on June the 25th.
Yeah.
But more so, it was hearing the testimonies from the mothers.
How was that?
That shit was painful, dude. That shit was painful. As in, that thing of people say that the worst punishment you can get is to have to bury your child. Oh man.
That's real.
It's real, eh? Let me tell you, they brought this. The most touching part was this: when they brought this lady. What's her name? Kennedy. Is it Kennedy Onyango or Kennedy Omondi's mom? Yeah. Right. The 12-year-old was shot with 8 bullets, and William Ruto said that child is alive. Right.
Mr. President, this boy, 12-year-old, took 8 bullets. 8 bullets into the body of a 12-year-old boy. What would you tell the mother of that boy?
That boy is alive, right?
No, it's not.
Kennedy Onyango died.
It's dead.
Yeah, that one. Do you know they brought her, like, one of the things is, weirdly enough, is I encountered her story about just a few days before, in terms of understanding how much she has been, like, pushing for justice for her son. Yeah, since he died. Okay? And so she comes onto the days and tells the whole story of how the government called her, made promises to her, told her that they're gonna take care of her, only to abandon her.
Nothing has been done.
Nothing has been done. And I remember the worst line that she gives in that whole thing was when she's like, "For how long will I cry? My tears are not ending. For how long will I cry?" I said, dude, for me, I was losing my mind, man. I was losing my mind. And one thing guys don't realize, you see Madaraka Day.
Yes.
This lady actually stormed through the crowd in Madaraka Day trying to give a letter to the president to seek justice for her son. Yes, and she was stopped by bouncers. The clip is there. This year's Madaraka Day. And I was surprised, like, I'm like, how come I didn't hear about this story? Because this woman's story is a very important part of this country's history. You get? But I didn't even hear about, like, it's only late, just a few days before that I heard about that. So now seeing this woman in the flesh telling her story, telling stories about her son earlier in the day village, he had drawn all those things, those drawings that kids do and say, come and show you and be like, hey, dad, look, mom, look. I'm gonna build this one day. She tells this beautiful, innocent story of an innocent child. And then in the evening, your child is dead. I swear. Man, that thing got to me. I was just, hey, dude.
Where's the justice then for all these people?
And that is why people are marching on Wednesday. Because where is the justice for all these people? So that is why people are marching on Wednesday.
So you're telling me none of these families have received any sort of compensation or support
Nothing.
from our government?
Nothing. And in fact, today Murkomen came out and said there will be no compensation for, I think, either the victims or, I'm not really sure, the victims or the people, and I'm not sure if it extends to the people who have died, but it was like there's no compensation. 16 people died yesterday. Yes, 16 people died yesterday. And he's come out and he said there'll be no compensation of any kind for, I think, whatever happened, Jana. And so I think for me, a big part of it has also been trying to figure out, we need to find out the names of these people. They need to be humanized because so far they're just statistics. You get? They need to be humanized and they need to be remembered. Because otherwise, if they're forgotten, what is going to happen is that we will go back to politics as usual, which is unfortunate from what the stuff that I have seen, especially in terms of the rhetoric from the political class today.
Yeah.
It looks like they've learned a lot of how, I think it's like they feel like they figured out Kenya's young people and now they know how to control them. They feel like they can control the agitation at this point. You can see it in their rhetoric.
And when you say control, you mean like through technology, manipulation, through
all of it.
Tethering the internet. I heard Telegram was also blocked as well.
It's not heard, it was a fact. It was a fact. So it was confirmed by NetBlocks about it, about the blocking. But I think they've done a lot to try and quell this dissent. Yeah? And I feel like when I look at it from my own analysis, this is a crop of people that are now beginning to become confident again. You can see it in their rhetoric. You get? So, man, I don't know where we go from here. I really don't know where we go from here, but
okay. So on
it's gonna take time.
So on Sunday, you guys get together. Was there a plan made on what was supposed to be done
at the All Saints?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think the church is the one that had made that plan, and they did like this. They did this thing of like it was done by the ministers of that church, right? So they came up, they all agreed that they're gonna take turns. Beautiful program, spoken word. So me, again, I'm not woke enough for this stuff. So first of all, me, I didn't know why guys were snapping their fingers. So it turns out during spoken word, like, really? If there's how, I'm like, what happened to clapping? Why can't you just clap? So apparently they do this when it's really yeah,
that's new.
I didn't know, so I was also very confused at the time.
Post Sunday goes lead up to Wednesday. What are you hearing? What's the build up? What's the noise on the ground?
Me, first of all, let me tell you, for me, my story when it comes to Wednesday is, so none of like in the lead up to Wednesday, how everyone was tense.
Yes.
Right?
Very tense.
Everybody's calling each other to ask, like, what's gonna happen? Is there gonna be violence? Right? Is shit gonna happen? I've seen Billy looked at that board again. Shit is by the way, dude, you should be switching. If guys know that kuna gari fulani,
vicious timing that guy.
Tuko watu wanne.
And one is already charged. With the coffee. Okay, so okay, tell me about now the lead up to Wednesday.
Yeah, so I mean, you were tense. We had a conversation, right? You remember?
Yeah, because from work, obviously, it's an American-based company. They're very unsure of what's going on, so everyone is sort of told to just tread softly, right? Just be careful your teams, everyone is safe, don't make any unnecessary movement. But for the most part, it was business as usual because guess what? The people still need stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, today's the day after, and it's business as usual.
It's business as usual. So in the lead up to it, everyone was just of the opinion, let's stay where we feel most safe.
Yeah.
Let's not make any rash movements.
Yeah.
And just
seen a
monitor.
pizza billboard. We should get pizza after this. That's a good idea. Late night pizza. As I continue to add injection, I continue to inject my coffee.
I completely understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so walk me through Monday, Tuesday.
Man, I mean, Monday, Tuesday is just tense, right?
Yes, for you.
It's tense for me. I mean, because the one thing I'm trying to figure out, right?
Yes.
The whole time is what's gonna happen.
Correct.
Right? Because you're getting all these conflicting statements.
Yes.
Right? From all the powers that be about what's gonna happen, right?
Yes.
So on one hand, the police are saying, look, we will ensure that there is safety for the protesters on June 25th, very early on, right? There's even a full page spread on the front of the Nation where the police boss, one of the police bosses is quoted, right?
Yes.
Saying that, we're going to try and make sure that the protests are as peaceful as possible. Embassies come out, yeah?
Yes.
And they even say, we were deeply concerned, as usual, as the most useless statement I ever hear from embassies, yeah? Media houses do everything they can to expose all the tactics that could happen. You get? So they expose, remember the Standard exposing the guys hiring goons. Sakaja gets exposed for hiring goons. They expose the what is it called? And shame on Sakaja. They expose the propaganda guys. You get?
Even the goons were posting this.
Even the goons are posting themselves asking for forgiveness. But they goon talk. The TikTok side of goons, or is it the goon side of TikTok? Is so crazy, yeah?
Really?
Oh man. Because goons have lives too.
Tushamobilize. Wacha watu wapatane hiyo town. Mtuambie mnaandamania nini?
Tushakuja na tuna patrol. Komanda amepatana na the chairman wa gunzi mwenyewe.
Hii tunazunguka. Weka full tank. Tuendelee na operation.
And they're on TikTok just like you.
Were these guys paid to just...
They're paid 250 bob.
But the
250, between 250 and 1,000. Imagine.
So the purpose of them being there was just to cause more havoc and create
No,
panic.
actually it's not that. So you need to understand that the police have an accountability mechanism around them. So if you're a cop and you do a violation, right? There's a mechanism by which you can be found.
Correct.
There's a badge on you. Even the way your uniform is created is supposed to enable us to be able to understand which unit of the cops you're from.
Really?
Your gun is usually delivered to a specific unit. You get?
Okay.
Like there are very specific ways in which you're able. There's an accountability mechanism around the cops because the job of the cops is to enforce the law. You get? So, if you want to be able to do some shady shit and get away with it, what do? You use goons.
250 bob.
Exactly. You use goons. Exactly. Fuel their bikes and use goons. Because then goons, there's no limits
To what you can do.
Exactly.
So it's all thought out well, right? It's all planned properly.
It is.
It's how do they say, organized chaos. Okay. So that's now
basically organized crime, actually.
So let's talk about Wednesday morning, right? What do you do? What do you get up? Because we'll post a video of you'll send me that video of you over here. Because you were there. Actually, you were in the thick of things, right?
Deep swimming in it, man.
So Wednesday starts off.
Because I decided to go do some reporting for that day. So
yes.
Yeah. So I mean that morning, it was a normal day like any other. You wake up and then you're like, okay, we are going out. But then you see now you have to like do the main thing that you do that morning is you do your safety precautions.
And what are those?
So typically you check, number one, you make sure that let's say you've got all your press equipment ready. So I didn't go with a helmet because I'm not able to find one. The one I needed, because you usually need a helmet, yeah?
Press equipment is?
You need a helmet. You've never seen like those war zone guys.
What's that guy? He's a bit feminine.
Listen. Call him the CNN guy, Larry.
Yeah. I saw him standing like this, like he reminded me, of that meme, the Pakistani guy.
Oh,
yeah,
the cricket guy.
Yeah, maybe Kim, we can put a picture of Larry standing with the like
But
Pakistani guy.
But that Pakistan.
But
cricket match.
respect for Larry.
No,
Larry has gone to the top of the ladder.
Kabisa.
So okay,
But for Kenyans to demand that he shows up,
yeah.
So
So you weren't dressed like that. You were dressed more like.
I was just like I was in the streets because I wanted to be in the deep of it. So I figured that the best thing to do is.
You look nice. You look really nice. You look really cool. You look like DMX. One of DMX extra. The extras in the videos.
Oh yeah, because of with the. But my dream has always been to be like a backup guy in a hip hop video.
Really?
In a rap song. Yeah, just those guys who are just like.
Well, watch we pick 100,000 subscribers. We release a hip hop song.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. See, you guys all have Prezo on the mini all the time,
and I can call it in black on the inserts.
254 reverse Oreos.
So
anyway,
okay,
yeah.
Dress up. You like you're gathering information on where to go. Is it all on WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Where is it?
I mean, I can't necessarily disclose that.
Sure.
But the main thing is, you check with your sources and you want to understand like where is the best place to be able to. For me, what I was thinking is just where's the best place to be able to tell a story. Yeah. And so the weirdest thing is because you see me, I was coming into this hoping that the people, like all the condemnation, all the exposure, and all the promises that had been made for safety, right, and non-provocation would be like carried through. Dude, how do we land on Kenyatta Avenue? Do we just start seeing clouds of smoke? Already, right? Tear gas, clouds of smoke immediately, like from a distance. So that's the moment I chom on my camera and I'm like, hey, it looks like we're gonna have to start recording immediately.
By the way, a colleague of mine was landing at the time, an industry colleague, and he sent me a picture which I posted on Twitter.
Yeah.
I was reposted. It was landing at Wilson and just looking at the skies of CBD.
Are you serious?
It just looked like a war zone, man. We'll put that picture here.
It felt like a war zone, dude. It felt like a war zone because let me tell you.
How was the energy on the ground? What were you feeling when you were with different folks?
It depends. So the one thing, as I told you earlier, the one thing you begin to learn about covering these types of things and just being inside those environments is that number one, there's a whole it's a whole sea of emotions, right? And it's like you go through so many different moments.
Yeah.
Like, do you know the day just flashed before our eyes? We landed, it started and it ended. You get, it starts and it ends. You don't know what's been going on. It's only at the end of the day that you're like, which is why for me, my best routine after protest is to go to the bar. Because, man, decompressing is a real thing. Because it just comes and goes. And for me, what was surprising is you'll go through moments where there's a lot of euphoria on the streets. Yeah? People are dancing. People are chanting. Yeah, the camaraderie is there. People are running together and all of that.
But then, is it a false sense of euphoria?
Yeah, sometimes yes. Because then it begins to dawn on you. Once they start shooting them rubber bullets, sometimes they shoot real bullets, then it starts to dawn on you. Or when that tear gas starts exploding right next to you.
Did you get affected by the tear gas?
Of course. Hey, tena yo tear gas ya jana, everybody is like, what was in that tear gas?
It was worse.
It was the worst that I have ever experienced. People were saying that they got very dizzy from the tear gas. There was something else in that particular tear gas. I hope, in fact, if there's anybody on this podcast who maybe managed to collect a canister of tear gas from yesterday, we need to know where it came from. Because that's one of the things I've been doing. You start collecting all of this stuff so that you can understand and map out what the supply chain is.
So it might have been harmful to breathe in. I mean, obviously, it temporarily deters you by basically engaging your senses and messing with them. But this particular one, are you saying had maybe...
guys, if you check even on X, guys are like, this is different. This tear gas here, this time, was not what we expected.
Okay. To play devil's advocate, the government came prepared.
They did. I will not lie.
I'm seeing water tanks. I'm seeing this. Like,
no, okay. You see, it's actually not that.
I'll give credit to our public sector and our police officers. They can manage a huge crowd. Like,
I don't know, man.
They are trained well.
I don't know, man, because 16 people died. Yeah.
Okay. No. That's obviously the bad side. But I'm looking at it like,
I mean, Jana, I watched. So I'll say this: Jana was like at some point I had to find like refuge, right?
Really?
And yeah, of course, because I did that running, the amount of running that you do. And remember, I'm running and reporting, so I have to be thinking about a story while running, fighting tear gas with bullets in the air.
I saw that. I saw you doing a selfie.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this guy reporting a story or is this updating us on what is going on? Because by the way, it was really professional. I'll give you that. And then the tear gas was flying over you and you're like, reporting live from CCTV. I must say, this is not my expectation of the day. No, I'm messing.
But you get what I mean, eh?
I do.
Like you're literally, it's a lot, right? You literally go through a lot at that time. But I must say, like you could see their formations in terms of how they were trying to keep people from accessing key parts of town.
Yes.
You get? Like they were very clear about what their job to do was on that day. But mimi, I will never praise the police for anything. Never ever. Me, I cannot praise the police. These people are the nuisance of this country. Yeah, people are very angry at the police.
Did you come across police that were reluctant to go through with their orders?
No, it was either you met police that were very chill, or you met police that were like that honor.
Really?
Yeah, that's some that were very chill. You know what me also I realized, like going in, like, you know, sometimes when guys do, like, and for safety reasons, when guys do press, they want to hang out. They want to be with the police, actually.
Yeah.
Right? You want to get that police POV.
Correct.
But me, I was smack in the middle of
the
entire chaos, right? Because I realized that the view there is very different.
So why did the police start throwing tear gas if it was supposed to be a peaceful protest?
Because the government understands that. I don't. Number one, that just comes by orders, eh?
Whoever that dickhead is.
Market driver
in his Mark X.
But you know, when
you're not pulling the girl, eh? We all know you have 4 inches.
But let me tell you, like, first of all, Mark X driver. You know me, I bought a Mark X without knowing that Mark X drivers had a terrible reputation.
Bro, but then if you're putting sounds.
Yeah. Delete muffler.
Okay, so
people are silly.
We were talking about like why the police. Thanks, Ken. Why they were. If it's a peaceful protest, why attack head on, right? Why aggravate?
I can speculate, but you've asked a good question that maybe I would want to check and try to understand, because to me it also makes no sense. You get? Like, if people want to protest peacefully, just let them, escort them down the route that they alerted you they're going to go, and then you get and do it. But you have to understand that there has been so much hype and build up to what was happening yesterday that it posed a political threat, right, to the powers that be. So they were not willing at all to let a repeat of what happened last year to happen, because the symbolism of what happened last year is not forgotten on them, and politics is about symbols. You get?
Now, given whatever you've said, the after effects of yesterday, what do you think will happen now?
I think the key thing, I'm very worried, because when you look at the rhetoric of the Interior Minister and the rhetoric of the DP and the rhetoric of UDA allied MPs, number one, expect social media legislation.
Oh, I'm getting that.
Social media regulation legislation is coming for sure, because now they feel like they've read Kenya's young people very well. Now they know.
So they're going to control the internet like how Uganda did, basically.
Oh man, for sure. And I mean, who is William Ruto's political godfather? Is it Museveni?
Really?
His political godfather is Museveni.
Well, you're saying he's following the same lines of principle?
Yeah. Kenya, in fact, one of the key things I really want to do is like interview like Ugandan justice human rights defenders and just ask them like how much of what you see happening in Kenya mirrors what you see back home. And many of them are saying, yeah, Kenya is becoming like Uganda in very many ways. Yeah, and for them, like Kenya used to be the haven of freedom. What are these cross-border abductions that we're seeing happening? Actually, like right now for me, I'm like working around a story on that. Hopefully it will be out soon, but this is the kind of things that are going on here, man. Yeah. So,
do you expect the president to say anything in the coming few days?
No, because I think the way I've seen, he's been very nonchalant about what's going on. He only talked about the protests once this week. Otherwise, he was in Kilifi on a funeral this week. You get? And I think that nonchalantness is not a deliberate strategy. I think he genuinely is not worried. He doesn't care. I think he's genuinely I think his people have told him that, hey, look, we've got these guys covered. And sometimes after yesterday, when I've been sitting back and like reflecting on what happened, and I actually do wonder, do they actually have it covered?
Well, did folks get up to State House?
People reached State House. That's now the tear gas people are saying was extremely different from even what they've experienced before.
Yeah, I mean, because you're getting all the way till the proverbial house of the country. So, of course, I think they would take some slightly
different approach,
extreme measures.
Absolutely. The incentive is there.
To curb the enthusiasm of the crowd?
Yeah. Absolutely. But, I'm just like, hey. Anyway, I don't know. In many ways, I think the political statements that were meant to be delivered on Wednesday did not end up getting delivered.
So here's the thing. We talked about it on the last podcast where I told you I don't vote. I told you I don't bother with politics because whatever happens, irregardless of the positions we take, it just gets ignored and falls on deaf ears. Nothing ever happens for the positive change that we expect. And you think whatever happened, the losses of lives that we've seen, on an international scale, people are like, oh, wow, sorry, Kenya. But do you think things will actually change? Do you think things will improve?
Oh, man, we have...
And what's the point of it all? We can make all the noise we want, but we have to realize is the land we're in, right? Your voice can only be heard if it's taken through certain chambers and approved by the person at the end. So we can make all this noise, we can make all this hoo-ha, we can come out and stampede, but it always falls short. It never goes anywhere. Now, maybe in the lead up to the next election, things change. But up until then, brother, I don't know.
I mean, look, I actually agree with you to some extent, in terms of, hey, dude, sometimes you can look at this thing and be like, this place is bleak. It's bleak. But man, I've chosen to be optimistic. I don't have all the answers, to be honest. Yeah. But I've chosen to be optimistic about this thing. And that we have to figure out a way into it. And that the truth is also at the same time, political economies are everything, yeah? Yeah. Like the issue is if you don't do politics, politics will definitely do you. You get? And like, yes, we don't want an oversaturation of politics. And believe me, I've come to the realization that politics is such a distracting thing. Yeah? But for me, I'm like, I'm not really that... I understand where you're coming. I may not agree with what you say, but I understand. Because this stuff is also very disenfranchising. You do wonder when exactly things are actually ever gonna change. But we must try. Which is why my new main goal in life is to radicalize the children of the elite. Because they're the ones with the best access to be able to fix all of these issues. You get?
How do we go about doing that? Just
with podcasts like this. Trust me.
My next guest is a porn star. You think this?
Oh, you're a porn star guest? Are you serious?
Do you know Sterling Cooper?
Who the hell is that?
Tune in on CoffeePump to find out more.
Dude, you're gonna host a porn star?
I'm happy to talk with anyone, whether it's the president or
Johnny
boss.
Sins.
By the way, that would be nice.
That would be crazy.
Bro, imagine how sick would that be?
Oh my God. But actually, I think
Like, just to understand his life, about the industry.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like you get but he started like talking publicly and like giving sex tips and all that kind of stuff. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, what? That's very on brand.
The guys.
Yeah, something.
So I'm talking about Sterling Cooper. He's actually part of Andrew Tate's clique, and I think he's an ex-porn star. But he teaches about.
But those guys are like human traffickers, though. I hope it's not the whole.
Andrew Tate is not a human trafficker.
He's a human trafficker. He's a sex trafficker. Yeah, but I'm like, but
has it been proven in court?
Yeah, he's still human.
It wasn't.
Yeah, I think it was.
Granted, I lost $100 on his crypto.
Dude, you got Andrew Tate, you know myself.
Yo, Andrew Tate is going to become the president.
Aye, dude.
You gotta buy his
You hit
Oh my God.
But no, you Ruto haters, you Andrew Tate haters, chill. Itakuonyesha.
Dude, I'm telling you, Andrew Tate, I mean, look, for me, I'm a guy who listens and doesn't judge. What I'll say is, for me, I still look at people as, number one, is what you're doing just fundamentally weird. I think Andrew Tate to me is very weird. Yeah. In general, plus the whole human trafficking thing, and then he's trying too hard.
Okay, no. So I'll send you a recent podcast of his. The Andrew Tate I want you to listen to.
Oh God, I'd love to hear this.
Is so there's the 2016 Andrew Tate who would say stuff that was off the reservation.
I've never watched Andrew Tate, so I wouldn't even know. I only saw a bit of. Was he ever on Joe Rogan?
No, they were planning, but he didn't.
Okay.
But anyway, he would say crazy shit to get attention, like women can't drive, like stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
As he's matured up his tone and shit. One thing I will say, him and his brother are fairly smart in getting money out of people.
Women.
Like the crypto.
Oh yeah. Oh, what
like,
men? Yeah.
Like the crypto scan, this and that. I completely agree. They did rug pulls, and I was one of the fuckers. But I put only $100.
Dude, you own a data center. You're something like the smartest. You're supposed to be like the smartest guy in this country.
so here's the thing. It just guys never.
This guy took me on a tour of his data center. I was like, dude, this is Dexter's lab. He has built Dexter's lab. I'm about Peter like Dini. Like, what does this button do? Are you telling me? You bought crypto from an influencer. You guy.
So to be fair, this was at the start of my crypto journey.
Ruby Shayo land your Karen. You don't deserve that land. You guy. How you get scammed, man? Tate banner.
That's a problem. Okay, by the way,
I've been scammed before though.
What I'm thinking is just for location, which we go through rough till we go back Riverside, State House, Langata, and then back to his place. That's I think that'll work, right?
State House is safe.
How many people are rioting still?
No, but no, not safe. Like it's always been like a zone. Okay, but anyway, let's see.
I thought it'd be the safest place.
Okay, I mean maybe, but this is Ruto's country. Nothing makes sense anymore.
It's all this guy.
Guys. This was for quality purposes only. For quality purposes.
Okay, so now moving on to the next elections, please, I need your input. All this has happened. Who's the likely candidate? What's going on? We talked about it briefly.
You guys keep asking me which candidate. Me, I'm not telling you guys which candidate. Is hey, you guys. Me, I'm just like.
Okay, do you think if anyone would just run against Ruto, he has a high chance of winning? Just as a proverbial fucking.
Well, okay, so here's what I'll tell you. There's a very important interview that I think anybody who is interested in politics should watch, which is Moses Kuria's interview, I think with Citizen. I don't know who did Moses Kuria talk to recently? Do you guys know? Okay, maybe you're not that deep in politics as I am. But he had a recent interview that I think said so much, that talked so much about the current political landscape and what things might look like moving towards 2027. Okay? And one of the things he said that shocked everyone was when he said that in 2027, the way this country is right now, first of all, and I remember a friend of mine posted and said, this country is like wet grass. Is it wet? Which one is it that burns? Dry grass or wet grass? Dry grass, right? It's like dry grass and all it's waiting for is one match. You get?
Yes.
And I think there are very many quarters that, look at what happened yesterday. Like yesterday was complete anarchy. You get? If people are willing to be bought or are just willing to look and say, we will loot this place.
Yes.
You get? A luta continua. Like, that's a very serious signal of what is coming. If, especially like the ability to hire goons is a very serious indicator of where a country can go easily. You get? So, he said that there will be we might not even end up with an election in 2027. The country will just come to a consensus.
What?
Yes. The country will just come to a consensus where people will say this country is about to break. You get? This country is about to break. And the Wazes come and sit down. Basically what we call in politics elite convergence. Right? Where the people, the powers that be come together and say, right, that we have chosen this person. And they will run. And it will be a rubber stamped candidate.
What?
Yeah. Basically he said it will be a repeat of 2002. That's what he said. That there will be proper massive elite convergence, right? Because a whole bunch of people will be like, we cannot have this happen. We cannot have a repeat of 2007 happen again.
Right.
Yeah. That's what he said. Watch the dog. You'll see if you can get the clip, but that's actually what he said. And so for me, I take that I'm still reading a lot of signals, right? Around what is likely to be the result and like learning as well. Because like for me yesterday was like a learning experience. Like I really wanted to know, like everybody was assuming that there was nobody I talked to that did not say that there would be bloodshed on the streets yesterday. Nobody. Everybody was sure. I was willing to be like, okay, let me hold out. Maybe something else could happen. Like I need to be optimistic that the country can change.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, you guy. Hey, nothing mattered. Not the embassy's deep concern, which I fucking hate that word, right? Not the police statements, not the exposure by the media. You get?
What's the international community say? The guys that you're tapped into?
Fuck the international community, man. I mean, I'm tapped into them, but what's the general
rhetoric outside?
Outside? I mean, all of them are just like, Kenya is burning. Kenya is burning. We're an African country. To them, the idea of pity for the black man is a normal thing. But I mean, in general, a lot of guys are just very worried about the state of this country. And,
given the
backsliding.
Given the international interest in Kenya, I mean, UNEP headquarters, UN headquarters,
imagine.
British Army.
Imagine.
And Silicon Savannah.
Imagine.
All these multinationals set up over here. Don't you think there's pressure to...
We are like,
the enthusiasm of whatever's going on.
Imagine. And these guys still don't want to curb the enthusiasm. Well, for me, I usually say William Ruto's government is like that spoiled brat that breaks the dishes in front of the visitors. Yeah. Because we have all of these people here. How can you do all of this shit? We thought it was supposed to protect us. And that's a key part of the message around a lot of the stuff that we've been seeing going on with this regime, is that the things that you thought are supposed to help keep you safe, guess what? They don't. Not having a UN office, not UN moving, it's, hey, this mall is nice. Jesus.
When was the last time you came to Rough Road?
I have, but I didn't, not before the promenade was finished.
Yeah, this whole place has changed. There's even a new Chinese restaurant, I think it's called Peter's Dong.
What?
No, sorry, Peter Dong.
What?
Something's Dong, someone's Dong.
Have
you heard of it?
No.
Kim?
Yeah. Is it good Chinese? It's for you.
Oh, hey, look at this guy.
Yeah, hey. I know. That's A180. GLA. Hey, but that's not that's the GLA. It's that small.
Yeah. So this
Aki Mercedes though. Why do they keep making this funny?
Do you play paddle?
No, I'm not. I'm not white. I'm not an expert. Okay, I don't have a UN job. Is that more acceptable?
No, but
I don't have a UN.
Do you know how many paddle courts have opened up?
Okay, but you see now there's some things I can't even say.
Like genuinely, so many. I know Vish plays.
Because I'm married.
Vish, do you like paddle?
I like pickleball. But paddle is fun.
What's the difference between them? Isn't it just
Pickleball is like a bigger table tennis. It's like a life-size.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Look at Rafter Square.
I mean, I've been here. This one I've been here several times.
For meetings, and
Yeah. I've been here several times. But
you know, one thing I hope with Rafter Road is they just maintain the building capacity limits.
But the residents have been complaining like crazy, man.
Really? What are they saying?
Yeah, because see, guys are breaking the limits.
Yeah, but isn't that just the general consensus of every architectural feat in Kenya?
I know.
Wamesema 8th floor, tulisahau tumefika 12th floor. Who do we need to talk to?
That's very Kenyan.
Yes, we will deal with
Kenyan. That's very
And it's
Kenyan.
something I had
Yes.
that above 5th floor, you're supposed to have an elevator now.
Yeah. That one is there. That
Look at the most houses in Pipeline. 12th floor.
Bro, they don't have, yeah? 12th floor they don't have?
No, new stairs.
Hey, but that's a good workout, though.
Yes. Bro, imagine moving there.
Hey, that's a good workout. Dude, you'll be fit. Sajid, you're on a transformation. I'm a pipeline. I'm a pipeline.
But you know, Eric and I, we want to start a fitness challenge. So I think that's a
Can I join you guys?
You're already in shape.
Dude, I'm out of shape, man.
Are you joking?
I'm out of shape. This is just covered. This jumper, this pink.
So that Jama throwing back the tear gas canister to the cop and running away. So, to the point even the filter on the screen couldn't keep up.
I'm telling you, dude. Hey, but thank God for golf. Golf is what saved my weight.
By the way, we need to play. Yeah, we need to.
We do play? I'm playing tomorrow.
So we under range.
Hey, dude, my swing is bad.
You're going to the show?
4 p.m.
We got a podcast at 8
p.m.
Yeah, we should.
No, but it's for 2 hours. GP. I'm going to play at GP.
GP in Harper?
Golf park.
Where's golf park?
Race course.
Oh, race course.
Don't play at GP.
Which you think is from Westlands? I come there and then I head back.
Yeah, Westlands is a terrible place to come from. It's a terrible place to come from. I wouldn't advise.
Bro, how was your trip, by the way? You recently went to... Wait, you were in Germany?
Berlin. Yes.
How was that?
I mean, Berlin's like my second home, man.
Really?
Because I go there I go there.
You're obsessed with it?
I would have never... I've never been asked that question.
I can't say that.
You can't?
Bleep it.
No, we'll try.
Bleep it, and bleep that. Oh, man.
Kim, you upload 2 versions. One with the word, one without the word.
No.
It's like to be tough. Have an exam.
Okay, no. I mean, there's... No, but you see, you can talk about Hitler in the positive way.
No, you can't.
No,
it's not positive.
Positive way as in history.
The Jews have said you can't do positive.
No, I'm not talking about...
They're older than the white people.
I'm not talking about Jews. I'm talking about like World War II and the Tiger tanks and playing that.
But I think that like still
you see Kanye West got people thinking differently about. I'm talking about World War II.
Kanye West. Who does Kanye West convince? I don't know who Kanye West convinces.
Have you heard the song though?
I'm a big fan of old Kanye.
Okay, but did
you hear the song to Kanye after he fucked Kim? I have no idea.
Did you hear the new song though?
No, I have stopped. I told you. I stopped listening to Kanye after 2012.
Bro, I'll tell you this is very catchy.
After he attacked Taylor Swift.
So thank you so much for giving me a chance to win a VMA award.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.
On stage, you stop listening then?
No. It's part of but after 2012, I stopped. I was just first of all, his music didn't appeal to me as much. There's the old Kanye still I'd still listen to, but not this thing that I see.
He's a lyrical genius. I'll give him that. Well, some of his rhymes are just insane.
I don't. I think he's a producer genius. I don't know about lyrical genius. I'm not sure, but he's a musician. He's a quintessential musician.
What type of music do you listen to?
I'm a hip hop guy through and through.
So who are you listening to in hip hop?
Actually, it's very diverse. So the one thing I credit with expanding my music taste exponentially is Vice City.
Oh yeah, Vice City, that game. Really.
Man, there's a very good restaurant here.
There is?
La Cucina. Very good, like proper Lebanese.
Isn't this a brothel?
Which one? There's a brothel here?
Yeah, on the left.
You don't wanna try that.
This place here.
You don't wanna try. You don't wanna admit that on camera, dude.
I've never been. I've heard. This place.
Really? But there's like a law firm here, dude.
Yeah, I mean, so lawyers fuck people every day.
But hey, look, what I was saying is, Vice City, I credit it for like expanding my music taste completely. So this restaurant here,
yes,
they have like that Mediterranean style pizza.
So you want to get pizza from there?
No, I think it's closed.
Okay.
It's closed. Now, what time is it now? 10:43?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's closed. But what I was saying is that they've got some good food there. But like Vice City is because Vice City exposed me, because previously I was really into hip hop the whole time, right? But then you start playing Vice City and suddenly you like because hip hop and R&B, huge on that, right? Plus Kenyan music. But then like there've been phases that have expanded my music taste exponentially. Vice City like defined everything for me, because suddenly you're this 10-year-old kid suddenly developing a taste for Latin jazz. Radio Espantoso.
So it was so good,
dude. Do you know?
Such a.
I've been hooked since.
I'd say I've never played a game
that was so tastefully curated for music.
Perfectly put. But also, I remember the record for the longest playtime that I've ever had till my eyes were
like falling out. Yeah,
was Vice City. So this was Friday. We had come from school, and my uncle had come from Dubai, and he got us the game.
I remember when you got that game.
You remember?
I remember when you got that game. We all went mad.
I was the first one to get it.
Yeah. And you came with a poster and the chick with the bikini.
I remember at lunchtime, all of us sitting around the map, come to bed,
man.
and I get the game, we'll do this. And I think you guys came then the following weekend.
We played, and for the first time, the GTA had motorcycles. You remember?
So insane.
It like you could kick the guy out of the motorcycle, and that shit it was just so.
So the game comes Friday 4.
Yeah.
I have tea with my uncle and the whole while.
Yeah.
My thought is just on the game.
Yeah.
He finally fucking leaves at like around 6 o'clock. I'm like, see ya. Fika 6. I play Paka the next morning 6. I get down. Mom is like, help set the breakfast table. Okay, sa. Set the breakfast table, eat, and go back up. Play till the evening. I take a nap. My cousin comes to stay the night. He comes at 8 o'clock, so I get 2 hours sleep. We play basically till Sunday evening again. Both of us are staying awake. And he then got picked up on Sunday and he was crying. He didn't want to go back.
Are you serious?
It was a school on Monday. Bro, I knocked out. I think I called in sick because I couldn't wake up.
Are you serious? Yeah. So wait, you're those guys who call in sick at work when you call in sick at work when GTA 6 comes out.
Bro, so I'm calling in sick tomorrow.
Sorry, I lost my voice in the pop-up podcast.
No, I'll just say the tear gas.
Tear gas is a good example.
Secondary tear gas. Good job.
But I'm telling you, Vice City, like for me, it really did so much for my music taste. Because whoever curated that music, the music for that game, not any other game, not any other GTA, that one.
So we can't go through it?
Did an excellent job. It's blocked.
Kaka, wamefunga kabisa? Okay,
sawa, tutatana tu. Asante.
Guys, State House is
blocked. House is blocked. Jesus Christ. State House is blocked. I wish I could take a video.
Wait, that guy has a gun pointed at you right now.
Yeah, I know. But
so what's the best way to get back to your place?
We just keep going this way.
We go
tutatokea Tao east side. Unless tuende hivi chini, left.
Tutembe, then we get on expressway, then we come out, visit your place, oh?
There's 2 options. Do you want to go down the expressway?
Yeah, my place.
Okay, so then we go back Westlands.
Yeah.
Hey, but where's T?
We can plan you from GTC then.
I mean, if you go here straight, utatokea Tao. It's very straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, can I close the window?
Yeah. Does it affect the sound?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a low ambient sound. So tell me about Berlin then.
I mean, Berlin is just an amazing city. It's one of those.
What's
remember when I
about
told you? Remember when I told you, Paris is shit, right? My gospel.
Yes.
Paris is shit. New York is overrated. It's just marketing. Like most of these big global cities are shit, right? Hapa ndio watu walikuwa wamekwama jana.
Yeah. Because I remember they came up. I saw they came up to State House.
So walipanda because the cops, it's like they pushed them up. Jana. I was here, just around here actually.
Really?
Yeah, actually it's very interesting. If we drive down this road, I can show you like some of the parts I was at when I was doing my reporting. Dude. I'm just like, this life, man. But anyway, we should get John Allan in this podcast.
Yeah,
before he leaves, because he's leaving.
When is he leaving?
He's leaving. I can't say, but basically he's leaving the country for a bit. So
I actually messaged him. He said he's game to come on next week.
Yeah.
Do you think I should do a studio one with him or I do the car one? Because he's done quite a few podcasts.
He's done a few do what is your specialty?
So like this.
Yeah, do this.
Like, have you enjoyed this stuff?
I have. Yeah, I'm like, this is cool. This is really awesome, and it's unique.
Yes.
Right, because he's a media guy, so he love it.
So tell me then Berlin.
So the thing about Berlin is this, you see, they keep telling you that there's too many parts of Europe. So there are two sides of Europe, okay?
Yes.
There's the parts that are like too cosmopolitan. They're in all the movies. They have all the immigrants and the expats and the guys who have foreign jobs and all that stuff, right? And so they end up becoming very expensive, overcrowded cities, right?
Yes.
That nobody likes to go to.
Yes.
Okay? Then you have the opposite side, which is the untouched European cities. You know, your Pragues. Yeah, your Viennas.
Andrew Tate says the women there nice.
I don't know. I don't know. But well, he got you. Like my wife is gonna watch this and be like,
Sorry.
So
What? Yeah. So apologize to.
so I mean, here's what I'd say. Now, those cities, the problem with them is that if you're a black person, you will walk around and everybody will just give you another look. Like
is it
yeah.
is it like a look of excitement, like
no,
it's carrying a 12 iron,
or
or is it a look of should I carry my bag close?
Oh, it's a look of I will cross the road when I see this black ass guy.
Really?
Yeah, very much so. Now Berlin is that cosmopolitan place that it's somehow yet to be destroyed by over tourism. See, the problem with Europe is over tourism because it's been romanticized for so long.
Yes.
You get? It's been romanticized for so long, such that there are so many parts of it that have too much over tourism. Did you see that there were protests in Italy and France? Spain, yeah, Barcelona, against over tourism.
Yeah, there was. They come and mess up the place.
Yeah. It's a serious, and it's over tourism by Chinese and Americans.
You know why that was?
Yeah, right?
It's because a lot of the people who buy houses, they set it as Airbnb.
Okay.
So now the
prices have gone up.
Yeah. It's not, and in general, it just destroys you.
So if you're a resident there, you buy something so expensive.
Not as he buying, renting.
By the way, Wish, so I'll just drop you home, then we can end there, and then I can drop Madung off, yeah?
But you get, it's really crazy. Over tourism is a serious thing. You get, and it fucks with guys quite a bit. So Berlin has no over tourism.
Okay.
Zero. It's beautiful, perfect.
Is it a visa to Germany?
It's cheap. Yes, it's a normal Schengen visa. You shouldn't have a problem.
Okay. So, I mean, do you apply through VFS Global?
VFS is for UK. I think it's Nini.
No, VFS
TLS.
does.
VLS. You use TLS.
No, VFS does Amsterdam and all these places.
Oh, you can do that. You can get the Schengen from there.
I was told Amsterdam is quite hard, so it's easier you apply to
really?
Portugal.
Yeah. The Portugal thing is The Portugal thing is true.
And then you just go anywhere.
The Portugal thing is true. Yeah. I'll say that for sure.
Any other plans for traveling coming up?
I'm going back to Berlin next week.
Unaenda economy or unaenda first class?
I will not disclose.
Okay.
In case KRA is watching.
Okay. Fist bump me at the bottom if it's business class.
I will not make any movement. I'm not making any movements.
That's why you enjoy traveling. Those guys like us who have to suffer through economy.
Dude, it's check. Europe is not bad. US,
bro,
dude, you die.
I've only flown one time in first class, which was KQ.
But KQ first class is a scam. Yeah.
To Ghana.
Yeah.
And I slept the whole.
But KQ first class is a scam. You wanna try Qatar?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. See, there's run like hotel.
Guys, if you subscribe a bit more and share this video,
but me, I can
enjoy possibly.
I would definitely. One thing I know, I definitely can tell you more about
is there a Chinese guy on a boat at this time of night?
Because I travel a lot. But you know the Chinese, this is how they are like, man. They will come to your city and assume that they're at the bottom of the barrel of. Like that's why hotel owners hate having China. And this guy is taking a boda on Uhuru Highway.
Like to. You see dipshit number 1, dipshit number 2.
Yeah, kabisa. And you know, these guys who still drive Toyota 110s, they're all they're still chaotic.
You can tell the attitude is get rich or die today.
These are the urban. I call them urban mirror drivers, basically. Yeah.
The urban mirror driver is the car that's passing us right now. The Probox.
Yep, exactly. But that looks like. Those two cars look very suspicious. Anyway, the cars are DCI. So, I mean, one thing I'll say is, by the way, if you really want to talk about, because me, I travel quite a bit.
Yeah.
I definitely can say that. Like, I can share quite a bit of traveling tips on this.
Well, I'm doing the wrong thing. I'm supposed to keep left, but these guys are just. Anyway, we'll be those dickheads.
Don't worry, it's Nairobi.
Which is your favorite country so far?
For me, I'm developing a very strong liking for. So my 3 favorite places are the US, Germany, the UK, particularly London.
Yeah.
I like London because it's incredibly productive.
Yeah, everything is just accessible, right?
Exactly. You were in the UK, right?
Yeah.
What did you think about your time?
I loved it.
It's incredibly productive. Like you can transplant yourself immediately.
You see, the thing is, because I was in Wales. Wales was a small town. I was in Pontypridd, so everything was there. You just walk, you use transport. So if you compare that kind of city to like Dubai, where you can't walk anywhere, like you want to go and get a coffee, you want to go and get a beer,
you have to fucking drive. That's America, by the way.
Yeah. So that was my experience with Wales. It was really nice. Then I went to London, and everything is dialed up times 100.
Yeah.
Where everything you need is right there. It's like a buffet of culture. My fondest experience was I was going to Canada for a cousin's wedding.
Yeah.
And I used a travel agent who, by the way, she's maybe I should be respectful. I shouldn't call her a bitch.
Yeah, she's scam. You got scam?
No.
Oh, okay.
So from here to UK, the terminals are so far apart.
Yeah.
My landing time was 10. My takeoff time was 12. Right, so the KQ flight over here got delayed. So you land in Terminal 1, and then you have to take a bus that takes you all the way.
Oh, yeah.
And so I missed my flight.
Oh.
And then they said, okay, the next flight to Canada
God,
is the day after next, so 2 days.
God.
And I don't have a visa for UK. So then I went to the security guys.
Yeah.
They told me to immigration, and they're like, look, they checked my passport. You've been to UK. Do you know your way around? I'm like, yeah. They do. Like, we'll give you a 2-day visa. Just make sure you're back. And flight. And they gave me a 2-day visa. I took the train to Central.
Yeah.
Found myself a hotel.
Yeah.
Caught up with a few friends.
Yeah.
It was, it's just so convenient. It was a beautiful, beautiful experience. But London's not like that anymore.
Really? Yeah. Because everybody's getting stabbed.
Bro, you'll get stabbed.
Everybody's getting stabbed. Yeah. I saw a fight break out in Acosta Coffee.
Really?
Yeah. I was I was meeting a British MP, and I told them
a British MP.
Yeah.
Put reverse back. Who's this British MP?
You don't worry. I was meeting an MP. And then
tell me who he is.
No, give us the scoop, you guys, man. I can't be here exposing people, exposing my.
So now you know. Now you know you flew first class. Right?
I know.
Because You know, if you're flying economy, you're not meeting British MPs.
And you can be shocked. You know those MPs. First of all, you know Kenyan MPs are the most paid MPs in the world. They're a unicorn.
Yeah.
With the way we treat MPs here is not how the way MPs are treated across the world. MPs are pieces of shit. It's only here that they're royalty. Yeah? Please understand. That's where this country's problems start. By the way.
So you enjoyed London, basically.
I like London's productivity.
US, you were amazed. Texas specifically, I remember.
Texas, yeah, but then that's the thing, because US, there's still so much, right?
There's so much.
There's still so much, and I love the idea that there's so much.
Did you ever fall into any tourist traps?
No, because I was with my uncle. I didn't. Maybe New York pizza.
Was it as hyped up as it was? It's a dollar slice, right?
You know what's worth the hype? Italian pizza in Italy.
Oh, yes. You've been to Italy as well?
Yes.
She's a world travel partner. Yeah, he's lying to us.
I'm telling you, I had Italian pizza in Florence. I was just like, Jesus Christ.
Was it really nice, the food?
It is literally everything that you would imagine it would be.
But Italians in general, are they very
friendly?
Friendly towards?
Very friendly. Very friendly. And the thing is, you see the things people buy when you're abroad. So, like, one thing I'd advise you to buy if you ever go to Italy, buy pasta.
Like ready-made? Huh?
No, yeah, buy the ready-made, but like the stuff that they like to bring home. Buy their quality pasta.
The funghi or something.
Yeah, all that, whatever it is, just pick it from the shelf and bring it home. It's better quality than what you'll ever get here. I'm not lying to you.
The one's made in India are better. You want to Chandaran? Have you seen the pasta selection?
Dude, I'm telling you, you buy vinegar, you buy what else? Olive oil. That's the stuff I get. Then you come back. Because that's the stuff nobody will ever think about picking. Everyone has to go to duty free and buy a bottle of duty.
So you're traveling next when?
Like next week. But I can't say which day because of...
Can you give me a Hitler statue?
No! Dude. You can't find that shit anywhere.
Like the one I can put in the car over here.
Dude, dude, no.
Yeah.
No. This Andrew Tate bait. No.
What was that joke where the German asks, have you seen this guy? He's this tall and he goes...
Dude, do you know you cannot make that sign in Germany? Do not even fucking try. Do not. And I know you're gonna try it. Don't fucking try. I know you're gonna try. That's the imagine, and I'm imagine you're over there 3 months. Oh my God.
Trying to call a taxi.
But dude, a German trip for us would have been a very dope idea. We should figure it out.
No, we should plan a proper trip.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been to South Africa?
I have several times. I'm going in September. So, but now here I am revealing my travel. Big guy, DCI.
How many countries?
That's fake. That's fake. It's a fake travel date. DCI. DCI is a fake travel date. I'm going next week. Man, you don't fear for your life now. I swear.
Me and Bro Ruto, I don't know what you're talking about.
I say, I was telling someone, like, how is it that we are so afraid? Why are we so afraid?
It's because the places we live in.
Nowadays, you talk to guys and they're like, stay safe. I'm like, dude, when we're back in COVID. Huh?
Anyway, we should plan a proper boys trip.
Me, I'm down. I'm so down. And the best boys trips are golf trips.
Okay, let me learn to play golf.
So when we can play over the weekend.
Sunday, we go golf range.
Has my wife bangered anything for Sunday?
You let me know.
But I'm sure my Sunday is open because I spent this Sunday with her. So I'm sure she'll put me off the leash.
Okay.
This Sunday.
We'll plan it properly. But
let's do Sunday. We can do Sunday.
I appreciate you coming in, bro. This was nice. This is one of many again.
Kabisa, man. We're gonna have a lot of fun.
Guys, I think we've got enough, right?
Yeah. I can be your political...
We have to smile at the camera for the thumbnail, though. You have to zoom in. You
won't see me.
I think this is okay. Guys, thank you. This has been Midnight Coffee Run. We'll catch you in the next episode.